Today I'm going to show you how to do a tubular frame. Here's my empty document. Here is my back wheel. Here is my front wheel. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a sketch here, and I'm going to create, I'm going to start with my tube, and I'm doing it right here on purpose. Let's make this, I'm going to make it 2 inches. And then inside of it, I'm going to make this inside equal to this dimension divided or minus, I don't know, 0.25. I can make that change later, and if I change that, it'll be fine. I'm going to draw a rectangle up here, and this is going to be 1 inch thick. Actually, I'm going to do it 1/2 inch thick. And then I'm going to make this width 10 inches. Now let's make it 12 inches. Okay. So this is going to be off to the side over here. I'm going to create a couple lines here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to measure from here to here, and I'll make this 6. So it's center here. That's great. And then I'm going to mirror it, these two, over this mirror line right here in the middle. Apply. And if it's not already, I can also do this. I can go to tangent. Boop, boop, and then it sticks them together. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this first, and I'm going to go both ways, and I'm going to make it 30 inches. Oops. Okay. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to share my sketch, and I'm going to extrude these, except what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude these asymmetrically. I'm going to pull this out just a little bit like this, and I'm going to pull this out, oops, this way, just a little bit more this way. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn the visibility of this off. I'm going to do my back wheels first. Okay? So I'm going to go to my back wheel, and I'm going to measure. I'm going to go to Tools, and I'm going to go to Measure. I'm going to pick this side to this side, and I've got 8 inches. Okay, so I need this in the end to be about 8 inches. So when I go back to my tubular frame, okay, I'm going to create something here. And I'm going to project the geometry here and here, okay, and then I'm going to create an axis. And what I'm doing now is I'm lowering my wheel, the center of my wheel down, so I can raise my car up and down if I want to. And I'll show you a really neat way to adjust this. So I'm going to revolve this down, and it doesn't really matter what circle you make, so you can grab this little arrow here, or you can change it here. I'm going to give it, maybe a 50-degree angle. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is out here on this face here, I'm going to create not a box, excuse me. I'm going to create a sketch right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a center rectangle right here. And I'm going to create a little rectangle here, a little rectangle here. You can, if you want to, shorten your time, I'm going to make this 2, and you could have made it, the other one. We can do 2 again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tool here and this tool here, and I'm going to place this on, let me project this real quick, and I'm going to place this on that center. Okay, Then I'm going to use a neat little tool. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to make these. Okay, that's good. And I make that in line with that. And then you can also do it this way. You can go to tangent here and tangent here. It makes it exactly the same size as that. All right. Now, here is what is important. So I have a distance. This is 10 inches. I need it to be 8 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this here, all of this like this, and I'm going to extrude all of this like this, something like that. I'm going to extrude this too. And then what I'm going to do is on these inside faces, now I could have done this before, but I want these to be wider, right? So I want them to be 10 inches. So they have a little space for me to put my wheel inside. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, and I'm going to create a circle right here in the center. Okay. And I'm going to do this. So I have tangent. This is just an easy way to do it, to make them the same. You can make it 2 inches. You can do, you can do this a bunch of different ways. But sometimes this is the fastest. And then it gives me a little, circle like that. I'm going to extrude it. And the way you copy it onto the other side, it doesn't, doesn't really matter. But I'm going to make this 1 inch. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same over here. I could do, I could do this a bunch of different ways. Let me delete this little sketch here. I could create a sketch. I could project the geometry from this over to there. We could also use mirror. You could do a mirror plane. You could do all kinds of different things. But then you can play around with it, and you can fillet edges, and you can make them all, all smooth, and you can, do all kinds of different things with this. You can round it off. I'm going to leave it like that for now. But here's the other part of it, okay? So the distance, if I go to tools and I go to measure, the distance between here and here is 5.5 inches, and then the distance between here and here is important. That's 8 inches. That's what I wanted that to be. But now what I'm stuck at is where that wheel is going to fit in here. So if I go to my back wheel and I go here, and let's say I measure this outer thing here, it says 7.5 inches in the radius, and I made this way too short. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this extrusion, and I'm going to pull this out farther. And then I can do this again. I can go to tools. Now you can actually do the math on it if you want to, but I'm just kind of messing around with how this works. You can do it a bunch of different ways. My minimum distance between the center of this and the wall here is 8.81 inches, and that's probably pretty good. So where did curves? So this makes it come straight out the back. Okay, what I did before with this, I'm just going to go back one more time, and so this makes it straight out, and when I put my wheel in here, it's not going to be downward. So I'm just going to go back here real quick, and I'm going to revolve this down, and hey, wait a minute, let me just delete this, and we'll do that again. Revolve. I'll use this and this, and I'm going to use this as my rotation axis, and then I'm going to just like this and hit OK, and then I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. All right, boom. There, I added this little jet down. You can do all kinds of crazy things with it if you want to, but I just wanted to show you real quick. If I go back to this revolution, I can change the height of my axis, and it changes the shape of this, okay? So you can see the difference between that shape. So all this does is bring the wheel lower to the ground, or bring the frame up higher where the center of gravity is. Okay, now let's do the front. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create here on this side, all right? I'm actually going to create a, I know, let's see here. So I'm going to start with a sketch, and I'm going to create a thing here. I'm projecting this geometry. Where did I start that? I didn't, right? Oops, I didn't start that in the right spot. Let me try that again. Let's go to sketch, and I want to choose here. There we go. And I'm going to do a very similar thing that I did in the back. I'm going to take this, I'm going to project the geometry, I'm going to create another rotation thing here, and an axis, and then I'm going to revolve this, and now I'm going to make this, I want it exactly 90 degrees, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and this is going to be my rotation, and I don't know if you noticed, but I'm choosing the outside edge so it stays a tube, and tubular frame. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to go 90 degrees this way, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I have a distance, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plane that starts center, center, and center. And this gives me my exact center, okay? So watch this. I'm going to go to sketch. I'm going to choose this plane here. I'm going to project this geometry 90 degrees. I'm going to extrude this to here, okay? And then what I can do is I can say mirror. I can select this and this, and I can select this as my mirror plane. Boop. And so I have this little front little tube like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I can turn this visibility of this off so this disappears, but I can go back to my revolve, and watch this. I can change the way that this looks very easily. I can just stretch this in and make it bigger, and it automatically updates. Here, let's make it dramatic. Let's go, let's go way out. Let's go, oops, let's try that again. We'll go way out here, but not all the way into the middle. And you'll see it makes it nice and big, okay? And that's where we're gonna start our second part, okay? So that's what we have so far, okay? I'll show you the fork part in just a little bit in the next video.